Ollie, thanks for being with us today. I know it's a pretty scary situation that's going on up there. And speaking of the situation, there's more than 200 active fires burning across the Northwest Territories. Several communities are being evacuated. Some places, highway travel isn't really an option. Can you bring us up to date on the evacuations?
Yeah, sure. So over the weekend, 5 different communities in the southern region of the Northwest Territories were placed under an evacuation order. One of those is quite a small community called Jean Marie River, and they were asked to evacuate west to a community called Fort Simpson. The other 4 are all relatively tightly clustered by Northwest Territory standards. They're Hay River, the Kaladeche First Nation, Fort Smith, and Enterprise. All 4 of those were asked to evacuate south into Alberta. This happened so quickly that they weren't even told where in Alberta to evacuate to. Initially, they were just told get south, and that evacuation ended up becoming an airlift overnight through the night in Hay River and Fort Smith, with aircraft coming in, trying to pick up as many people as they could and get them out, with wildfires closing in pretty much to the doorstep of those 2 communities.
Well, and Ollie, we're hearing that property and structures have also been destroyed. What can you tell us about some of the damages so far?
There's a small community called Enterprise, which is about 30 or 40 kilometers south of Hay River. Fire SS52, that's the label the NWT gives to it, swept about 40 kilometers east on Sunday and went through the community of Enterprise as far as we can tell. Now, it's really hard to know for sure the extent of the damage right now because there's a widespread communications outage across most of this affected area at the same time. We think a wildfire has damaged the fiber line. It's hard to get cell service, landlines, internet. We don't really have access to any of that. So we're just starting to see the first pictures right now, and it looks like a scene of significant devastation around Enterprise. But right now, we don't have much confirmed detail.
Well, that's absolutely heartbreaking to hear. Hopefully everybody there is okay. As you mentioned, the communication losses, it's like you said, there's been a bit of an issue with the internet and cell phone outages. So how are people working around that? What do you know about sort of working around these communication issues?
Yeah, there were times yesterday when a dozen or more of the 33 communities in the NWT had lost at least some, if not all, of their communications. So we even had fire chiefs in the northern areas of the Northwest Territory saying, well, we can't even access our own radio networks to carry on doing our job and getting police and fire calls. So this is a huge issue in the Northwest Territories. In places like Fort Smith, where they were doing an airlift last night to get people out, emergency responders have their own closed-circuit radio network, but they were also using Starlink to be able to get information out and back rather than relying on the fiber line. So we're starting to see that low Earth orbit satellite technology come in handy and prove really critical in a situation like this where people need to get word out. But otherwise, people have just been going door to door. These are communities of 2,000, 3,000 people. You've had firefighters just going up and down with emergency responders, getting people out of houses to shelter in place, then getting them to the airport and getting them out.
Well, Ollie, we'll have to leave it there, but we certainly appreciate your time and hope nothing but safety for everyone over there and affected by these fires. Thanks so much.
Thank you.